A reading from St. John's Gospel. As Jesus walked along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Jesus answered, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. He was born blind so that God's works might be revealed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." When he had said this, he spat on the ground and made mud with the saliva and spread the mud on the man's eyes, saying to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam," which means sent. Then he went and washed and came back able to see. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar began to ask, "Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" Some were saying, "It is he." Others were saying, "No, but it is someone like him." He kept saying, "I am the man." But they kept asking him, "Then how were your eyes opened?" He answered, "The man called Jesus made mud, spread it on my eyes, and said to me, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' Then I went and washed and received my sight." They said to him, "Where is he?" He said, "I do not know." They brought to the Pharisees the man who had formerly been blind. Now it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. Then the Pharisees also began to ask him how he had received his sight. He said to them, "He put mud on my eyes, then I washed, and now I see." Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not observe the Sabbath." But others said, "How can a man who is a sinner perform such signs?" And they were divided. So they said again to the blind man, "What do you say about him? It was your eyes he opened." He said, "He is a prophet." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So one of the great details I love in the story of the healing of the man born blind is how he's described as the man who was formerly blind, right? That his identity, his fundamental identity, has been changed by the action of Jesus in his life. And I think of all the things that I have, by God's grace, been formerly, and that is really the Christian story and the good news in a nutshell, the sense that God can make us formally those things and bring us into a new identity, a new place of joy, even if we don't fully comprehend in the present. Now, over the course of chapter 9, the man who was formerly born blind will come to know Jesus and come to kind of grasp him and see him in the fullness of who Jesus is. But at this point in the story, he's not sure what's happened to him. And that can be so often the case as our lives are changed. We're not really sure what that will mean to be formerly X. Yet we are called to step forward into the future that God has prepared for us. So, in a sense, we believe the God we celebrate and proclaim in Jesus is a God who can make new creation out of us, that we can be formally something. As Paul says in the second letter to the Corinthians, the old has passed away, behold, the new has come. And this newness is seeking to break forth in us every day of our lives. We are called to embrace something new and to embrace the possibility of how God is trying to transform our lives. So I invite you to pray today. What are you called to be formerly, and what is the new thing that God is seeking to do? However small it is, whatever mustard seed of change and transformation God is seeking to bring in your life, let it grow. Let it grow and step into that future and be able to testify and trust that in the end you will see with your own eyes the good things that God has planned for you. Amen.